Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Ancient City, and in the red color, we've got some humans. I think this is the person who sent in the replays. This is Levatus. On the other side of the map, playing as the pink trolls, this is Diesel Weasel. It's gonna be a match between the chieftain for the trolls and the royal mage for the humans. Should be very interesting. Are they putting a worker in the stonecutter? What's the deal here? You don't see that very often. Oh, he's unassigning workers from the hunting cabin, so there's absolutely no plans to get infantrymen. He's happy to take the hit with the royal mage. I'm intrigued. Let's take a look at the skills. I think he picked up Biting Frost rather than Fire Nova. More single target damage. Against these zombos, I really like Fire Nova, but I'm sure the Biting Frost was picked for a reason here. He doesn't want to go into melee against the trolls. And that's why he's also going for Arcane Force rather than Fire Might. It makes a lot of sense, really. Get your single target spells in and deal a lot better with the Troll Smashers. I think this is great. What happened with that undead? Oh, wait. He doesn't want to mess around. He spotted that the trolls are coming across with his scout. This is a full skip build. In fact, Diesel Weasel never completed this eye banner, so they're not going to be fighting for this sector. Levatus even chugged a potion just to make sure he's full health. And he's going to build the eye banner as soon as possible. Only after that is he going to even deal with the undead. Finally finishing the royal flag. The target is really going to be the smasher, but you do have to play the... Oh man, the flag abuse is... This is just not happening, is it? Oh no, his icicles aren't hitting the eye banner. That would be some extra little bit of free damage. But I think Levatus has to give up here. And he's lost this sector as well. What is going on? Oh my god. Yeah, typically you want to go for the Wolfguard commander here, much like with the Dark Elves, instead of using a mage. But the humans have a slightly better situation with the Royal Mage. I already pointed out to single target magic spells. So yeah, that's really the idea to go for here as well. Take out the smashers one by one. And of course from Diesel Weasel, you guys know him already. We've got the Troll Guard build. Is he gonna pick up, however, Chieftain's Word for Stomp? I don't think he likes Stomp as much. March is great. Stomp, he probably could use some help. But the trolls are already really good in the melee, so there is that. Bond for Troll Guard and pick up Junk are of course in. And as we know now, pick up Junk is around 300 health extra as part of that shield. Once you have full stacks, that is, not before. Right, Levatus and Diesel Weasel will be reaching this bottom spot at the same time. The infantryman and the scouts are going to be working on this eye banner, making sure to prevent it. I think they can do it too, because Diesel Weasel spent a lot of resources on other stuff, just getting buildings made, I suppose. And trolls most certainly cannot upgrade their bases one after the other very easily. It takes some time. There's the weak smasher. He's working on it. But Diesel Weasel is microing it back to take care of the royal flag, and Levatus is just going to be stuck on 3 sectors. Well, maybe 4 with this one also being in play, of course. But the trolls, here's the thing, they can already go for a Medusa. All you need is 3 smashers, honestly. And to be honest, if you pull them 2 at a time, you can just do it with 2 smashers even. So, yeah, they're probably going to be harassed a little bit by Levatus. Oh, he's going for the early barracks play. Very interesting from Levatus there. You certainly don't see that often. Double barracks. But ultimately he's going to teleport back because he needs more sectors. That's just necessary. Oh hey, Merguez, thank you for your subscription. Appreciate it. Very nice indeed. Royal flags coming up. And this eye banner is going to be taken down eventually. It's not getting upgraded, so I think there's pretty good chances for taking it down. you like that long alert? I might change it to just a cat laser vomit thing. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. Just change it. It's too long and it keeps getting copyright striked on YouTube. But whatever, I'll just mute that. Or actually, the AI can remove it now. It's been working pretty well. I would have already changed it if it was 1,000 subs per month. That's probably true. That's probably true. Alright, we've got the Medusa getting taken on. But this is going to be a slow job for Levatus. I think he's going to be on the struggle bus here. I mean, the trolls have all the sectors. What the hell? And they even came up here to prevent the humans from building. He's doing a good job, though, with the hit squad running around to prevent eye banners from coming up. I'm just surprised Diesel Weasel isn't going for the level 5 here. It would be so easy to get, and then you're fighting a level 3 mage. Levatus is not in a great spot, you guys. This is gonna be rough. Oh no, he lost the scout and the infantryman as well. Not great. Can he prevent this banner from coming up? It might be difficult. It's already at 70%. The Royal Mage would have to help, but he's not coming. Oh man, I think this is coming up. Oh no. Oh yeah, that was no hope there. If the Royal Mage had only been coming there immediately, that would be very different though. Alright, Smasher could actually go for it, but it's too late for that as well. A Royal Flag should be coming up. Great use of the icicles. But Smasher gets pulled back. Good sprint there. And while the trolls are going to be doing some damage here, it's going to be a little bit difficult to make this work against all the human defenses. There's a lot of infantrymen and arbalists coming in. Off the Smashers is already getting very low. The scouting post is working on an upgrade. Oh, the Smasher might actually die, but so does the scouting post gets taken down. Ooh, Smasher at 24 health will just about escape through the Godstone. That's sick. Yeah, good job by Diesel Weasel there. And Levatus is, I guess, forced to teleport. No choice. He's just gonna work on the Medusa. He's got enough units. And he won't get level 5, right? But he's gonna be getting much closer to it. Interestingly, he still never picked up Fire Nova, but he did work on Ice Might and Fire Might. Not that it's super relevant, because he doesn't get into melee too much with the 0. But it will be relevant when he's level 5 and has absorbed the elements. That's what I'm assuming he wants to do. Alright, the base should be built. Diesel Weasel is coming, but if he wants trouble, trouble is what he's gonna get. That's a lot of Humies. And a lot of single target firepower from the Royal Mage. So he'll definitely help take down some of these Smashers one at a time. Forcing Diesel Weasel to indeed micro this very well. Or face losses. Can I show the abilities in the Troll Capital? I mean, there's nothing special here. It's just the completely usual Diesel Weasel build order of free hunting huts, right? Wait, I think if you... Yeah, free hunting huts. He just did a rush, so if you've seen the previous game, it was the same. We've got Stonebreakers, we've got 3 choppers, of course. Just a bunch. It's 3 and 2, respectively. And now we've got our first fight huts coming up. We've got the hitting camp, so he wants to transform these smashers into bigger trollos. Got 2 scrappers on the job. Once the hitting camp is done, he will be able to turn, I think, everybody into skull crushers, actually. It's just a matter of moments and they'll be done. Workers just need to deliver the scrap. Wait, why aren't they doing it? Oh, they need the wood. Which the workers are holding, but yeah, it actually needs to be delivered to the building. Now they can work. Look how quick that is. Once you have the resources, that is. They don't have it right now. Oh wait, the humans are meanwhile attacking. Got the Eye of the Tribe pretty low. But with the skull crushers now in the fight, these infantrymen are getting cleaved on. They hit 2 enemies at a time. Good pullback micro as well. Diesel making sure that these guys don't get too damaged, because it takes forever for the trolls to regenerate. More smashers are coming in. I wonder if we should actually just put another hitting camp here, or even a throwing camp to gain some throwers. Now he probably doesn't have enough units to actually take on the humans. I'd be very, very careful doing this. The Royal Mage is actually heading home, I'm assuming, for some upgrades. Honestly, Levatus, considering how this game went so far, has gotten away with a lot. He's tier 2. He's got quite a bunch of billets. He's got fortified outposts all over except this one, and that's also going to be worked on shortly. Just needs a little bit of resources. Once he has that, it's all good. Holding the little vision tower here is a pretty good idea. He can see what's going on all the way. Okay, so we're getting the staff for the Royal Mage. He doesn't worry too much about armor. And so long as he doesn't forget equipping that thing, everything should be fine. He's got 2 points in Arcane Force. Ooh, be careful there. You don't have armor, sir. No resistances.
Our workers are under attack.
But he does sneakily get out of this, for the most part. Arbalists are opening up on the Skull Crushers. Royal Mage gets hit a bunch of times thanks to the slow ability of the Chieftain. Might be a Skull Crusher going down there, but just about gets away. Pretty good teleport once again. Chieftain, meanwhile, has equipped himself the tier 3 items. So he's got some sick armor. Really high weapon damage at 200. Of course, the Royal Mage can be better than that in terms of weapon damage output. I don't think he swapped yet. Levatus still is holding the Queen's Hand level 3 in the inventory, and it's really level 5 that will give him a lot of damage output. For that, he will have to kill some of these troll units, and certainly Diesel Weasel is not making that easy. Okay, another fortified outpost is coming in. Current situation really isn't that bad for Levatus, but he is losing a lot of units in these fights, as you can see. There's just 5 kills right there, and the trolls have lost, what, nothing, I think? There's no troll corpse here. And trolls now already have wall breakers on top of everything, so they'll be able to take down bases. That's just 2 of them so far. But that's already a lot of siege damage to take down buildings with. There's not been any expansion on the number of scrap gatherers. The scrap is still going back home. These trolls be pretty strong, you guys. But fear not, Levatus has got this covered, right? Surely. 142 pop to 104? Maybe not. Oh, that's gonna be rough. So many of these boys are also trying to split off to escape, but they're so weak. I think they might get just taken down. We also have some iron beaks now. But they're not upgraded, so they can't actually attack ground units. I guess they could use their ability to blind enemies and reduce their range by 50%. That could be a good move on the Arbalists. We'll see if he actually uses that. I'd love to see it. Okay, Skull Crusher's gonna go to the hitting camp to upgrade. And even though he's low health, once he does that, which literally only takes 3 seconds once you have the resources, he's full health again. So that's also a healing mechanic, not just a direct upgrade. Yeah, he's using the blinding on the Arbalist, but they're already in melee range, so, you know, didn't do much. It's also working very hard on this fortified outpost. One of the wall breakers is on the job. Some of the trolls are finally starting to go down, and the Levatus does reach level 5 on this hero, so things are going to be very different from here on out. He does lose the base. And he absorbs the elements. All his little buffs are now powering him up. He's still using the basic weapon, unfortunately. Calls down the meteor that misses. But most importantly, he can do 4 shots with his weapon now while that buff is active. If he just remembers to equip the better item, it will be even better. Significantly more damage from that thing. But sometimes people just forget. There's a 60-second cooldown on that one. And for Starfall, it's 50. Both of them doing pretty significant damage. Levatus is just on 61 population. As long as Diesel remembers to heal back up his units, I think that's gonna be fine. But Levatus meanwhile has gone for tier 3. And he's starting to have these border fortresses all over the map. Aria distilleries are already in. And you guys know what that means. We're gonna see a pivot into champions. And maybe even into magic units. Starfall does do a little bit of siege damage. Helps tear down this base at least. That's a scrapping base, so that's pretty important for the trolls to hold on to. But they also are going to be going after Levatus's base here. There's some Aria here, so denying that is a pretty big deal, actually. And right now, Levatus doesn't want the business. He does not want to fight the trolls there. Oh, wait, they're going to teleport in. They're surrounding the humans. Oh my goodness. Those infantrymen are completely unupgraded. There's an absorb the elements once again for Levatus. It's level 3. So the 36% power multiplier is in, the 150% attack speed is in, and it's 4 projectiles from the staff attacks. But if his army doesn't fight, he can't fight either with the hero. They're grouping up as much as they can, but this is just a lot of human corpses. Oh my goodness. He lost everything. Most everything, anyway. Got 3 wall breakers. And I haven't actually checked Diesel's skills. So he's got Troll Guard level 2. You can see that by all these Troll Guards getting assigned already. For whatever reason, he upgraded the throwing. He unlocked the throwing upgrade as well, but he didn't use it yet. We've got Bond of the Troll Guard level 2, so every time the Troll Guards attack something, they will be giving some focus to the Chieftain to use on these upgrades. Chieftain, the champions are in. They're already upgraded to their lances, so they'll be doing a little bit of cleave damage with that. Yeah, cool stuff, cool stuff. Can they actually hold on against this? I mean, they have really good armor values and health. Very comparable to the Skull Crushers, actually. So finally, the humans have trolls at home. And with the potential to buff them more. The throwers are coming in. They're pretty scary as well in high numbers. And Levatus is on a very, very low sector count, so this is absolutely terrifying for him. Speaking of the buffs, the flag bearers are being made now. Levatus will have to teleport to defend himself. But it's with a border fortress, so I think I like his chances. Especially if he can do a good element absorption. He's at 1 stacks each at the moment. Getting the second one. Oh, gets knocked down, however, by the wall breakers. That is really brutal. They just keep chaining the ability as well so that he keeps getting put down like that. Oh, the chieftain actually gets sniped. The trolls can't run, and now they're having to face all these champions, which also get a little bit of a flag bearer armor buff. There is a single flesh eater, but I think there's no way these guys can stick around under the border fortress fire. Levatus does absorb the elements. He's also got the armored boon from the flag bearer. And he just smashed the trolls. That was sick. That was absolutely sick. And now, although he paid a high price for it himself with his champions, he can just make new ones for now. He can more or less afford it. Probably need to get rid of some wood because we're not building much stuff anymore. Turn that into a farm. He's already done it actually back in the home base. So that's pretty neat. Here he's focusing on iron. Read this sector where I was wondering, okay, he's got really good macro, man. I mean, he's got 1 woodcutter. That's really all he needs from here. Alright, turning many of the flag bearers into attacking mode. Hex camp is getting dismantled here by the trolls. And they just can't seem to afford making as many units as they need. Scrappers now working on this middle sector. This one is empty, so it might be a good idea to just teleport across and go here for some extra scrapping. The flesh eaters are still getting trained. Wallbreaker's going for a Warbringer upgrade. Oh god, those are absolutely insane. Give such a big buff to friendos. We also got the Bone Hexer Thick Boys coming out, the Warbringers here. This guy actually has a blocking chance. And they resist magic too. Where have the trolls placed the metal gatherers? So some of them are still idle here. 2 more over here. And then this sector and this sector still have some actual scrap in it. Levatus' iron sector down here also does. But there's no sneaky boys there. Alright, the buff champions are absolutely insane. They gain a 20% in power and a 15% armor from the flag bearers. And of course, they cleave up to 3 targets. Scrappers are getting picked off. Diesel does have a lot of scrap, but he doesn't have food to actually remake these. So I don't expect that anytime soon. And you know, sieging these border fortresses is actually very hard. You probably need like several Warbreakers in the army. But they are at the moment buffed by the Warbringer, so let's not forget that. Doing a significant amount of damage there. But I think the champions are starting to take over a little bit. Is this actually a fight that Levatus can take and win? He was getting slowed down a little bit by the chieftain ability there. The ability is called Come Here, but it's kind of used as Don't Come Here. Ooh, nice little slam level 2. Giving these guys a little bit of bleeding. They can't resist that, it's irresistible. We've also got Corpse Seekers, so those could be activating their little skill here, giving the trolls some extra armor in the location and the enemies some extra bleeding. It's 17 bleeding damage in this whole little goo area, so pretty significant. And the Wallbreaker has the knockdown ability as well, really good use of it. Meteor lands but doesn't do much. In comes the Chieftain, activates his invulnerability, and doesn't actually manage to tank much because Levatus never targeted him. He targeted all the other trolls, and he's done a really good job of it. And now he's starting to add a bunch of mentalists as well, which is going to be very useful here, and knows that there's an opportunity for a counterattack. But meanwhile, the corpses are getting eaten by all these trolls, and some of these units have very high blood power already stacking up. Bear in mind the aura from the Warbringer doesn't actually stack with that, so it's still going to be a 20% in power no matter what. But the individual core attacks of these units are going to be increased, so the Bone Axers can do a whole lot more damage. They also cleave, they also lifesteal. These champions definitely don't like that. They don't have any innate magic resist, but if there's a flag bearer nearby, that will benefit. Ooh, the chieftain is actually getting extremely low. I do love how he gets like 100% pierce resistance from this, and if he gets a ring at the shop, he might even resist the other types of attacks, although he would also need an amulet. Yeah, get both and then you'll fully resist everything. During the ultimate skill, that is. Well, Levatus seems to be taking down the sharp eye of the tribe. Can Diesel Weasel actually do something about it? Some of the champions are really weak here, and he is going in. He's giving them the bleeding business. And you know, they're also getting debuffed by the stinky auras of the flesh eaters. So whatever the flag bearers would give them in offensive mode, they're losing. And that's a good dodge on the meteor, by the way. Needless to say, Arbalists aren't exactly the best kind of unit to snipe bases with. And another Bavarian dude goes down. Oh no. It's corpse eating time. Brains. Ooh, Chieftain once again goes in for the big hit. He's practically immune, so it should be easy enough to leave here and wait out the penalty time. But meanwhile, several of the advanced troll units are going down. Levatus is still doing a really good job. He's now got a level 7 hero as well. That's a pretty big deal. Hailstorm is upgraded to level 2. He does have 3 points in deep waters, and you've just seen the frozen guy. That's from Biting Frost level 2. When a unit is chilled, you just freeze them with this. And 3 points in Arcane Force. I'm sure that number will go up some more as we proceed. I'd also consider Spark level 2, to be honest, because it's like an extra 100 damage. Probably not a bad idea. It's a very cheap skill. Might as well make use of it. Alright, we're gonna have a very heavy magic army. But Levatus, having cut into the sectors, he unlocked another Aria sector here. And he definitely could use the Aria, so would love to see it. Well, the meteor doesn't actually land on the middle base. It only hit that Shrine of Mugwa, which is still important to do because Diesel Weasel actually is lacking the offerings. And that's what that building generates. Slow champions can be run down fairly easily. Levatus knows this, so he's going to teleport out. This is just a fortified outpost, not a border fortress, but it's still pretty good at doing what it does.
All right, then let's get to it.
Well, 153 population against 118, but I just feel like that Levatus has been doing a much better job with a much smaller army. So the trolls aren't exactly highly pop effective. Once they eat the corpses, of course, that's completely turning on its head, but we just don't have that yet. We are slowly but surely entering the real late game territory between these two factions. The humans will eventually run out of resources completely. They have the market, so they can convert resources into each other, but it's not very effective. It's certainly not as effective as just being able to gather them. So the trolls have a massive advantage that the humans can partially offset for a while. But the human army is better at full pop, so there's that advantage. They're pretty similar pop right now, and with the Humies losing their hero and this chieftain just being absolutely immortal, slowing down all these champions and the magic boys, finishing them off, that hurts a lot. Levatus has been absolutely reset, and we might actually get to that point where the Humies run out of iron around the map. We are gonna take a quick look at the current situation. So that's 220 here, 615 here. Okay, he's been very conservative with this sector. Fight is happening. There is 72 iron left up here, so that's about to run out very, very soon. That's just a handful of champions, really. Only good news for Levatus here is that his base is shooting the mages, and you know, eventually they will be going down, but he's losing the entire army in order to defend here. Probably should have run around some more, because that's a lot of human corpses and not many trolls. Champions have gotten a pretty good angle here, but they're also getting low on health. They're getting chased by the chieftain. Wait, the Royal Mage is back actually. But he's in the Stinky Aura, so he won't be doing too much damage. As long as these Flesh Eaters chase him around, that's going to be the case. The Meteor might actually land there. Oh my god, it's fully landing! But the Royal Mage himself did go down. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, the base has been working on these guys the whole time. We've got a bunch of corpse trolls coming in. They've been zombified. Chieftain is just on 78 health. If one of the cleaves hits him, there we go. The champions did get it. Despite the Stinky Aura, they have more than enough damage to get this done. And the troll army has been completely cleaned up. Diesel Weasel, however, still on 119 population as he's pumping out a ton of smashers here. They're waiting for their upgrades, but he just doesn't seem to have the scrap for it. Again, there is scrap up here still, so he's got to make use of that fully if he really wants these scrap units, or he needs to make a lot more scrappers, which will ultimately reduce his full population army. But he's never really gotten to full population, so I'm not too worried about that. A second hex camp is being built, which will basically allow you to rally from one hex camp to the other. Well, basically fight hut to hex camp to hex camp. What happens then is that the smashers automatically go to the hex camp. They will upgrade into flesh eaters, and then they go to the next one where they upgrade into bone hexers. And once the bone hexer is dead, you get the corpse troll. So that's a pretty good little sequence, and it's very easy to macro as well. From the second hex camp, you just rally to either your Godstone or your hero. Your Godstone can rally to your hero as well, so they would teleport through the map automatically, and all you have to do is make the smashers at the buildings. The rest, they just rally where you tell them to. Very convenient little move set there. Alright, we're gonna get our support garrison now for Levatus. I think he wants some catapults to take down buildings with. Holding these border fortresses has been an absolute blessing for him. And now swapping into a bunch more Aria units in the form of the Mentalists will basically give him this opportunity to last longer here. Right? The iron is getting problematic in this sector in particular, but he can keep doing this a lot longer if he relies on Aria. Alright, the Royal Mage has finally realized it's time to equip the better weapon. Not sure when that happened, but he also has his armor level 2. He's got 2 more potions, and eventually he can sell these for some more potions and rings. Excuse me. For the chieftain, we do have, oh, the Spirit Ward of Fast Feet. That's interesting. 15% extra movement speed on the hero. That's perfect for his Slam 2 skill use. I love that. He also bought himself a slowing orb. And just generally for pullback micro, this is huge. He's level 8 at the moment. He doesn't have many points in brute force, but he does have Bond of the Troll Guard free. So again, this will contribute some more to his infinite economy, where he can just train his Troll Guard units into better ones with his skills, making it a lot easier to rely on scrap-based stuff. By the way, whenever these mentalists attack, they apply this impaired affliction. This is not the normal impair, by the way, so it probably needs to get renamed. But what it does is 30% movement speed reduction, 14% attack speed and casting speed reduction. It's pretty good. It's like a super impair. Two hit squads. Levatus can unite them, get a nice flank on the trolls even, then that can go a really long way. All he needs to do is lure these guys out. But I don't think that right now Diesel Weasel is in a particular rush to go and get things done. He's tried to get his ultimate little army going with the Flesh Eaters trying to turn into Bone Hexers. Even the Thrower is trying to upgrade into a Flesh Eater. He's still super heavy on Skull Crushers, which is not going to fare too well against, especially the Mentalists. That's exactly the kind of people that will hit him. Levatus is approaching full population here on very high quality units, and these guys are ready to stab these guys in the back. If they get on top of the Spike Flingers, they will just evaporate with their minus 25 melee resist. Levatus is now attacking the base. He will be taking it down too, but the flank idea really didn't work out. It's almost like Don Hyperion knew that was going to happen, and now Levatus' plans are foiled. Let's see if you can get a different kind of Surroundo with a slightly smaller army, but he's still getting it. We are going to see Meteor down there in the middle, and it's going to hit. Oh my god, so many of these Flesh Eaters got damaged from that. The trolls are falling left and right, and they're going to be teleporting out of this. They're very, very damaged. I don't think they really want to take a full fight, but Diesel Weasel is high in population. He's got a bunch of Corpse Seeker Iron Beaks, which, if they find some corpses, will be able to generate some very powerful bleeding areas that the humans probably don't want to step into. Okay, here we go. There aren't many corpses, so you really can't use their ability, but what it does is this. So 7% extra resist for troll friends, and for the enemies 15 bleeding per second. Can't resist the bleeding, of course. Sharp After Tribe getting repaired. The meteor lands, takes down another building. Sharp After Tribe is down. This is the moment that Diesel Weasel really has to engage and save his buildings, because they're so expensive and take so long to rebuild. He needs every resource he can get, especially scrap and offerings, to make more advanced units. But he's at the moment just kind of suffering through this. Absorb the Elements is in for the Royal Mage. He is sniping the Chieftain somehow with all his powerful single target skills. He's shooting 4 projectiles and the entire troll army is melting away. The champions are just a little bit too Chad-like, and they just cut down everybody. The corpse trolls are now in. That's all that's left of the mighty Bone Hexer army. And as Levatus destroys every single building in this sector and upgrades the flag, he will be taking all the resources that the buildings drop down. There are plenty of corpses here, to be fair, so that's something to look out for. The Corpse Seeker will be applying the bleeding in this little zone, but it's kind of small. If Levatus doesn't sit in it, then, well, he doesn't have any problems, right? It's already over as well. Another meteor coming down. Wait, did Levatus actually, like, upgrade concentration? No, but he's got level 4 of Arcane Force, and that's eventually going to go level 6, I'm assuming. He wants to max this baby out. At which point, his meteor is going to be absolutely sick. He does have Spark level 2 as I suggested, so that's now 336 magic damage and 11% scorching for 5 seconds, which is insane. Fighting Frost level 2 is going to be 436 damage if you hit the chilled target, which also takes damage from Hailstorm itself, supposedly. And gets frozen. Warbringers are in, and they're ready to bring some war. Buffing all the nearby allies by an extra 20% in power. If the trolls can especially eat the corpses here, they'd be getting even more powerful. Yeah, the Bone Hexers really need to get going with that. There's plenty more where that came from. Meanwhile, the Warbringer is empowering this Warbreaker by 20% as well. It's already got super high damage. Single target for sieging, but it's exactly what you need against these bases. Of course, they're dual use, so you've got the smackdown, but it's not going to be enough. The humans are too numerous, aren't they? You've got a bleeding coming through, but absorb the elements, and the meteor lands in the backline once again on the weaker units like the Spike Flinger. We've got the 4 projectile attacks from the Royal Mage and wielding the Queen's Hand level 3 staff. He is just absolutely stomping everybody. This Warbringer got frozen there by the Frost Spike. Absolutely nuts. He just wiped out the troll army again. These OVs are stuck on 76 population, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how he's gonna get out of this base. He's stuck in the main, man. And you know what? Even more importantly, this sector has 500 iron in it. Finally, Levatus freed himself of the shackles of the finite economy. It's not just this sector where he saved the iron for later that he can benefit, but now the troll sectors. The trolls do not use iron, and relying on scrap in its entirety is just not really a thing. They also need to worry about the offerings, but scrap, you can see it's very, very limited. You need to make so many scrappers, and they take up population space, just as a smasher would. Levatus has an opportunity to take them all out here, at which point the trolls can't upgrade units anymore, basically. Then again, this site has been picked clean. There's still this one available, but yeah, this is an absolute massacre that Levatus is going for. I can't believe he came back from this early game. It was so miserable, but he managed to make it work. Absolutely epic match. Oh, hey, Iron Maiden. Good to see you as well. You gotta try this out, man. I think you'd enjoy the dwarves. They have dropships, they have tunnels, they can be very mobile with their armies, and they have berserkers. And it's free, so you might as well. Got the Mentalists. The Mentalists will be absolutely nerfing these guys to oblivion. Ooh, that's a huge slam coming through on these guys, but I'm not really sure that the Chieftain can take this after his ability is over. Once again, a meteor lands. Now his nerf is gonna come in as his ability expires, and he just gets picked off right away. He gets invulnerable with his ultimate, but it turns on its head as it ends. Level 10 Royal Mage is in, ladies and gentlemen. Levatus reached the max level, and that is gonna be it as he finally cleans up the trolls there with the Giga Chads of the human army. Beautifully done. And we got a very satisfying timing as well for the music ending. I like that.